Hello, Anidorks. This is Chris here talking to you before we get to our little mailbag/analysis episode of Book 24. Just wanted to pop in and say that we're having a lovely summer and we'll need a little bit of a break in August to do some fun stuff that you'll hear about in this episode. But we'll be back in the fall, starting in September, probably as school starts up. You know, when the Scholastic Book Fair comes around, that's when we like to be funky fresh and with it. So, enjoy the episode. We so look forward to getting into the ghostwritten books, and we just really appreciate all the support. I don't know, it's been a really fun ride to do with all of you. So thank you very much and enjoy the episode.
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Katherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym KA Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Anidorks. These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, this is that nice agenda that young Edwin wrote. How lovely.
Oh,
I wasn't grumpy about this at all.
Yeah, Eddie is often the scribe of our podcast.
Well, that's how podcasts get made, actually. We don't see recording is entirely too volatile. Like my neighbors could be firing up a lawnmower or something like that.
That's damn true.
It's damn true. So what we do is we do a Zoom call and Eddie writes down everything we say, and then Eddie does impressions of us.
It's true.
And I call it
distinctly
Anidorks.
Queer impressions.
Anidorks, distinctly queer, yes.
Yeah. And I really think, Chris, in particular with you, I think I bring something to the character. Yeah, don't you?
Oh, certainly. I mean, this is... I don't know if I'm actually saying this or if this is your editorializing, if you will, but you definitely give me sort of a zest and a love of life that is not present in my usual dead eyes.
And in my notes, I clarify between the real Chris and my version of you by saying Zesty Chris. Zesty Chris, and I just don't use that on the podcast.
Yeah, there is a sort of like zest that'll build up on me every couple of days. Okay.
So
wait, the agenda includes a mistake I made that I was never going to tell listeners about.
that's true. I didn't know that was public knowledge.
Why would you do this,
wait,
Eddie?
wait.
That's insane.
Off mic.
Oh,
okay. No.
Oh, you missed that, Chris.
Get Ben. Okay. So let's talk about something that isn't a mistake I made. Let's talk about where the series is going for a second. Because we're leaving the realm of purely KA written books. Like shit's about to get spooky.
Yeah.
We'll be in ghost written territory.
I'm scared.
Yeah. I know, me too. I don't think we should read on. I think we should stop here. I think it's probably safest. I don't want Eddie to feel validated or vindicated in seeing an actual ghost.
Why couldn't they be zombie-written books? I think I'd be okay with that. I think I could handle that.
Yeah.
What's a zombo?
I don't know. It's just a more endearing name for a zombie.
It's
actually
zombie.
the rarely used singular. It's,
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Miranda. That's what I said. Yes.
It's usually like when people say zombies, that's actually not correct. It's just zombie.
It's just zombie.
Again.
Yeah, it's a horde of zombie. A zombie horde.
Right. And if you're getting eaten by a zombo, you should say zombie.
And lucky you
right.
if you're only getting eaten by one rather than a pack.
Very true.
Some people
and
have all the luck.
The rarely used, if there are only 7 zombies specifically, just only when there's 7, it's actually a zomboni.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
And they hang out in ice rinks.
And then at 14, it's not zombonis.
No, it's not a
actually
pair of
parliament.
zombonis. It's just back to...
It's a parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is
Very
counting
strange.
the zombies, especially if they're surrounding him? Sorry,
It would be the Census Bureau. That's,
okay.
I mean, that's a reasonable question as you are a lackluster citizen
Yes,
of this
yeah.
fair Zombo
As you
nation of ours.
find
Zombie
every
nation,
opportunity
sorry,
to
I
remind
misspoke.
me.
I know, I'm spicy today. I'm sorry. I
thought it was
must be zesty. Yeah, I must be zesty, Chris, today. I did just wake up from a nap, and it's really funny. It's like I've gotten everything I wanted today, and I'm still not happy. Yeah.
So if the series, I mean, no, not if. The series has ended with
When?
book 24. When
Right.
it ended with the introduction of the Helmicrons. What does that tell us?
Right.
This was not the ending I was expecting, I don't think.
No.
But it's the ending we deserve. God damn it! It's so rough. It's something else, man.
Yeah,
The
we didn't get a
Helmicrons-
lot of resolution. I was expecting more answers. I was expecting
Yeah.
the
Well, it
Andalites
does
to
explain-
arrive, but
It does explain the well, we know what happened to the Andalites. The Helmicrons defeated them.
oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. You know, everybody who's read the books is getting so mad right
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think alternate timeline, the Helmicrons win because KA has to go write a different series is worth exploring.
Yeah.
And what if it had ended here?
I also feel like there was an opportunity for the Animorphs to finally win if Cassie had just managed to morph into that Anteater a little faster and then just gobble up Visser 3 and the controllers.
Yeah, I thought she was an Estrine. What the hell? She only morphs as good as... Apparently Visser 3 is also an Estrine.
I mean, that's
I don't
no
know.
surprise to me.
I honestly
That's no
think I was
surprise,
thinking
yeah.
about it, and I think if Axe had decapitated Anteater Visser 3.
I thought he only did hand stuff.
yeah.
I know, seriously.
No, I
it's like-
know. But he ends with his blade pressed to Visser 3's throat, and Visser 3 has like Marco and somebody on his tongue or something.
I see.
And that's the threat. And they decide that they're at an
You realize
impasse.
we're going to have to censor everything you just said. That was all terribly inappropriate.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Well, let's go back to the hand stuff.
Please.
But if Axe had simply done that and the others had, like, well, I guess morphing wouldn't have saved them because they were stuck tiny. I don't know. I don't think he'd have been able to chew them in the 2 seconds after his head got cut off. That's just my personal opinion. Or they could have just not unshrunk Visser 3. They could have lied. They could have been like, all right, we're going to do this, you know, we're going to do the first one of your guys, then one of my guys, but there's a lot more of your guys than there are of my... Oh, Visser 3 is last? Oh, darn. Oh.
I think the way that we figure this out is by staging an all Anteater production of the Scarlet Pimpernel,
Oh.
which I've never seen, but I believe has some famous guillotine scenes.
I believe it does.
And we
Okay.
see if they could chew while, like, we just see if it comes out theatrically in the lore. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
'Cause
Obviously,
we'll do it
we
as a
won't
derived
actually
piece. Right,
decapitate.
yeah.
That'll be all stage trickery. But
Right.
the
Yeah, but
Anteaters will get into character and they'll let us know
Right.
whether it would have been possible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is now that we're done with Animorphs. I mean, I think we're ready to take a few risks, and I think I'm comfortable with this direction. I think our listeners will come with us wherever we go next. Wherever we go next.
You sound like my therapist. So Mr. Eddie therapist,
Yes.
question for you. Why am I so alone? No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually lost the thing I was going to say. I'm sorry.
I think we could potentially do spooky Animorphs. I think there's a series called Spooky Animorphs, something
I
like
think
that.
so. Yeah, that's right. And it's
it
like,
starts at book 25 for some
Yeah, I
reason.
noticed this. Yeah.
And then, weirdly enough, there are regular Animorphs books sprinkled into the Spooky Animorphs books. It's very interesting.
do we have a list of which ones
Yes,
are
we do.
regular Animorphs?
It's just
lists?
not
Let's
in front
read
of
through
us right
those.
now.
I know. I should have Animorphs series. It's like on the wiki, right? I think
Yes.
it's just on the
yeah.
wiki.
Weirdly, we go
there.
right back to another KA book at book 26. So,
Well, it's a Jake book.
Okay, so
yeah.
25, 27, 28, 29. So really just 26. Okay, so 26, yeah. And then
So we do off for
looking in the
25,
30s,
we get
32 we're
26.
back on.
and then all the 20s, and then into the 30s we get some more.
32 is a is a non-ghostwriter book. Then, oh wait, maybe there's a secret to these numbers. So it's 2, 6, 3.
Oh, this is classic KA. What is she
And
trying
then,
to tell us?
8,
classic
15,
KA.
16, 23, 42, or whatever it is.
Wait,
And then
that
there's
series of
not
numbers,
another one
wasn't
till
that
the
what
end of the
KA
series.
kept repeating while we were speaking to her?
I believe so. Yeah, that was
whispered
the
it.
code she used to get her security ensemble to escort us out the
Yeah.
door.
It was her cell phone password.
Change the password on my luggage. Okay.
You know what? I
Happy
do
100th
think
birthday to Mel Brooks.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're doing a Spaceballs too, apparently.
Oh my
The
God.
quest for more money.
Well, actually, they came out and said that's not going to be the title. Of
What? I didn't know that.
I don't know, but you know, when you paint yourself into a corner, I guess you got hard pivots.
I guess so.
I hadn't heard that yet. I do
Yeah.
feel like we have an opportunity to bring some of these ghostwriters onto the podcast, maybe to talk.
I
If we
would
could
love
find
to.
them, if
Yeah,
they wanted to.
Yeah, that would
Or are
be
you?
so
Oh, are you
cool.
pitching a Ouija board?
Yes. How hard could it be? One of them will answer. What else are they doing? Like,
We've got the books right here. It's gonna summon their spirit.
I
yeah.
got the books right here. Its
Oh
name is
yeah, we
Paul
just need
Revere.
a very tiny. What do they call it? Not a looking glass, but the there's a term for that. The thing that you use on a Ouija board.
These names feel what is that called?
It comes up
I
again
can't
and again
remember.
in Haunting of Hill
Planner
House
or whatever. The
Planchette?
Planchette. Yes.
Planchette. Yeah, Planchette.
Kate
Yeah.
Blanchett.
Yes.
Kate Blanchett. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of these names are like really well made up to disguise that KA kept writing these books. Like here, like Amy Garvey. That it just anagrammed straight back to Michael Grant, which is
Yeah.
insane. Elise Donner.
Melinda
that turns in-
Metz. Come on.
Yeah.
Ellen Darrow. No way.
She got Ellen Garrow. Oh my god.
Gina Casco.
Well, no, she didn't. She didn't get Ellen Garrow. She pretended to
Okay.
be Ellen Garrow.
Right.
Now, this is a race we haven't discovered yet in Animorphs. This last name, Lisa Harkrader. Come on.
Ah,
That's
The
cool.
Raider of the
That's a
Hark
cool name.
Raiders. Yeah.
it's that
If that's
thing,
a nom
it's
de
like-
plume, I'm sad it's not mine.
Okay, you guys. I think we have a sin to make up for.
Oh,
You're gonna shake the mailbag.
I'm gonna shake the mailbag, and this decrepit. Well, no, I don't want to make the letter sound old because that's rude. I'm not trying to like judge the letter, but the letter came out and it's totally dehydrated.
Oh,
from
it's been
being
very
in
hot.
The back. Yes,
Oh.
it's been very hot in the back of the mailbag, and
Just
we
dip it
had
in your
to.
sweat.
Yes, my zest. Please, Eddie, my zest. All right, now that I've reconstituted the letter here. You can't. Eddie is just straight up laughing at me right now. Eddie is like, I've been looking for a word to describe your stench for 30 years, and I've got it now. All right, I would like. He's just gonna keep. We're gonna do a special cut of the episode that includes the 40 minutes of Eddie giggling. You can get that only on our Patreon.
I'm just glad we're not recording a book episode tonight. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the Gmail. I sent you guys the Gmail, right? I sent you guys the Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have one real email and one fake email.
Oh, I didn't know about the fake email.
Well, there's like some AI service that's listened to all of our podcast episodes and wants to like give us free, or like give it like it's like some free. I don't know. It's like some soliciting thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a big deal. Okay, so this one was sent to us by our. Oh, is it signed? I think I'm just going to read the name on the email then. This email is unsigned. At least my copy is.
Yes.
And it was sent to us by our wonderful Discord member, Dar.
True.
Who has been on the Discord for some amount of time, I'm sure, and has been. Remember, you too can join the Discord for the low price of $3 a month, which just helps us pay the bills and get stickers made that Chris totally didn't fuck up the order on.
We said off mic.
I looked off mic when I said that. Okay, you guys. Okay. Do we want to popcorn this bad
Yeah.
boy?
Sure.
First thing I'll say is apologies. This is from April 26th. It must have just slipped our mitts, but we're going to make good on it now. We're going to read it now. All right. Well, Eddie, why don't you take us away?
Okay. So this is subject to Tobias from a Therian perspective.
All right.
Hey there, Anna Cool Kids. This is Darleith from the server, making good on the warning that I would send a long, rambling email in accidental response to the question you had received about Therians in the David Trilogy finale podcast. This may not be as good for reading on air, so if it doesn't get read, I totally understand.
You think we're not going to milk this for all it's worth?
Yeah.
You guys, I don't think we should read this on air, but let's continue.
To start, Popcorn Miranda.
I do want to specify that this is specifically my take on it, and the idea of therianthropy and alter humanity in general is a varied thing and highly personal. Not all Therians will agree with my takes, and vice versa. For some, it's more psychological, for some more spiritual, but I'm going to speak largely in broad strokes in this instance. For me, growing up, Tobias was someone I resonated with intensely for not only the outcast kid vibes, but also the idea of identifying as non-human. Popcorn Chris.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that Tobias truly identifies equally with the Hawk as the human, if not more so as time goes on, and he accepts what he is post-Notlet. The start of Book 23, The Pretender, is an amazing look at it, in my opinion. The way he talks with the Hawk levelly, as equals, despite his gifts of morphing. He acts as the Hawk there, despite his ability to act as more than one. That isn't to say Tobias only acts as the Hawk, of course, and that's part of the interesting mix of beliefs on therianthropy. Popcorn Eddie.
For some, the entire experience is the non-human, where they fully identify as whatever animal or other identity. As I like to jokingly put it, wrong hardware for the software. But for some, it is about the mixed experience, the humanity along with the non-humanity. And Tobias resonates to that experience so heavily for me, with added layers such as the fact that he's also partly Andalite, and I would also argue feels a kinship with the Hork-Bajir.
True.
This is, of course, only one interpretation, and there are plenty of ways to read Popcorn Miranda.
Tobias' situation and how he reacts to it. But I think more telling signs come over time for the fact that the red-tailed hawk is integral to his identity as much, if not more, than being a human is. The mix between human and hawk, especially in how he acts with humans and aliens in general, is interesting to witness. The struggling to socialize as a human, but seeming to understand hawk socialization much further through experience, is really interesting to read about. As an aside from Tobias, as I've covered what I feel I can while staying spoiler-free, I wanted to note that among some Therian reads of Animorphs that I've seen, is that Rachel also seems to have shades of identifying heavily with the bear over time during the war. Popcorn Chris.
That could be just due to the expectations that we've seen happen due to how her position on the team is, but it's quite interesting to consider, especially as time goes on. All said, I hope you enjoyed my reading of these characters and found your takes on the idea interesting, especially in terms of how they would react to the idea of therianthropy. I do agree that they would find it much different given that they have been the animals, and it's a really fun idea to consider how that flavors their view of the experience. I do really hope you continue to enjoy the series. It's been great listening to your experiences throughout the book so far. Popcorn Eddie.
And I look forward to hearing your takes on The Pretender. Stay cool, and remember, keep the oatmeal handy.
Maple ginger.
Yeah. Oatmeal handy. Oatmeal handy. We should invite them to the Christmas party.
I think the first thing that jumped out to me here is just...
Miranda, you totally actually correctly identified a joke that I threw out. Like, I threw that, I was like...
I just was like I don't want to know where you're going.
Dude,
I don't
understand.
What would an oatmeal handy be?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I want to think about it.
Axe in his hand stuff again.
No!
But I was just like, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of like, it would be a funny name. So you guys are going to have to like get me back on topic here because I got lost in a thought of imagining Hawk finishing school for
little Hawk Eaton.
Yes, and they have to like walk with tiny little books on their heads.
Cute.
And, like, yeah.
No, I like this a lot because I mean, I think we all said we don't have a lot of personal experience with the Therian community and like don't like have a lot of insight to it. So it was interesting to hear that it is like a spectrum, if you will, of like how people interact with it and what it means to them and how much that interacts or how well that meshes with Tobias's experience as truly not being fully one thing or the other in a way that none of the other Animorphs are. And like, it has been interesting to see him become more Hawk, but also preserve those human parts of himself that he cares about. But he does seem to just have an innate sort of sense of Hawk behavior at this point that we occasionally get windows into, but he really is mostly socialized as Hawk. I mean, if you compare a Hawk's lifespan to a human's lifespan, he's probably done more percentage of expected Hawk lifespan as a Hawk than he has, expected lifespan of a human. So like that's got to be I wonder if the internal clock sort of changes for them in that way too.
I wonder about that too, because like that seemed to be something that was hitting in that book in particular. Like it's like he, 10 to 15 years is what I just looked up for the like life cycle of a Hawk, or particularly like in captives they'll live 25 to 30. So if we consider him somewhere in the like gets help, like is somewhat a pet.
Yeah.
Not that he's a pet. I want to be clear. I'm sorry.
That he's
I
being
just mean,
cared
like,
for.
Is being cared for, yeah, and has like an advantage there. Then how, like we reckon what, a year's happened, which is 1/15 of a life, and what's 1/15 of like 80 years? I don't know.
I guess he's spent longer as a human, I guess. But
yeah.
He's not even an adult human, but he is an adult Hawk, and that's got to be weird.
It's 5 years is a 15th of, so it's, 5 years is a long time. That's, like you can have a major life crisis every 5 years. So Lord knows I've been doing it.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm interested in this thing about Rachel and the bear, because I do think she goes to the bear as a shield in certain ways, you know what I mean? And originally the bear was like this separate thing. I feel like when she first got the bear morph, she got it to be her armor in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she really does seem to be becoming the bear. She's like embodying that confidence outside of the bear morph as well. And I wonder if she's getting that from the bear morph, does that mean she's identifying with the bear morph? That's like an interesting thought.
And also the biting and the mauling that she's been doing at lunchtime in the
nonstop.
Cafeteria. Yeah, it's a problem.
I also feel like I'm trying to think of other Animorphs. Weirdly, and we might have discussed this recently, but I don't think Cassie has as strong, I don't associate Cassie
she was already a horse girl.
Yes, that's true.
She came
but she's
as a
kind
horse
of
girl.
lost the horse thing as the series went on, and she's always morphing the wolf, but that kind of
the
just
skunk, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skunk comes up a couple times.
True.
Yeah, Marco with the gorilla feels like, and this makes sense for Marco, but it feels like it's more about the comedy of him being a gorilla.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to smoke a cigar as a gorilla.
Yeah, because he is really tied into like performance of humanity. Like it makes sense. Like he does human things.
But it's true. And there was also an interesting moment with him and the gorilla when he got the morph, when he acquired the morph of him, not thinking that like he wanted to pretend he wasn't afraid of how big the gorilla was. Mm-hmm. And then when he was forced to actually be with the gorilla, he was like, I don't know. And Cassie was like, he's super gentle. What are you freaked out about? Like, and he was like, so I think there was a confrontation for the capacity for violence. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. But I think it's also like he can more or less operate human things as
true. It's very useful.
Yeah.
He's driven a car.
Yeah, and
elevator.
yes, gotten the elevator. Like, yeah, good luck pressing those buttons accurately with your little bear toe beans.
Yeah.
Cute.
You know,
I also there's a part here in Darlith's email where we talk about Tobias's kinship with the Andalites and the Hork-Bajir. And I feel like I'm curious about that because I also feel like I'm having trouble figuring out the line between it being this experience of Tobias being, identifying with the red-tailed hawk, identifying with these different forms, and also just being like empathetic and being able to understand another's experience, like the experience of the Hork-Bajir and the Hidden Valley and everything. Yeah, what do you think of that? Because that makes sense for Tobias, that Tobias could imagine someone else's experience.
It does. And I think definitely the things he resonates with mostly are the hawk and the human, although we haven't fully seen the impact of him discovering that he's kind of part Andalite, sort of.
True.
Even if his dad was Nothlit at the time. And then his kinship with the Hork-Bajir, I feel like almost comes in this sort of like, he did morph Hork-Bajir in the process. So I do think he got a look inside their heads and he understood them in a way that he hadn't before, which did lend that empathy to him. But I think I'm really interested in the relationship with him and Toby. I'd really like to see that explored more. Like, of having her be named for him and having her be this like genius or whatever. And I'd be really interested to see how he feels about his legacy within the Hork-Bajir people, because he has one.
Yes.
Which is such an odd thing to be able to witness, but due to their like life cycle and how quickly they mature, like that happened fairly quickly. And so he's like, oh, I'm seeing an immediate like change to this Hork-Bajir society that was directly caused by me.
Yeah. Especially as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's quite a legacy. So, like, he walks around, he sees all the tiny little bird statues of him.
Yeah.
The thing that I was thinking, because the question you were asking, Eddie, was about the, like, sort of him being an entry point for empathy with sort of his... Yeah, I was thinking about it in terms of, like, him being othered from the start. Like, everybody else has more of, like, a claim to society than he feels that he does. He's like, and I'm not saying that's legitimate or otherwise. I'm saying in this book, he was the one pitched as in these books, he's the one pitched as like the person who started with no place to be.
Yeah.
And then like kind of moved into finding a place to be. And it just kind of like rings off of, I think I am embarrassed to admit this, but I'm watching Ken Burns' American Revolution or whatever. And but it's a funny thing to watch a documentary on that's actually like a decent documentary, because it's like everything that we're taught about that is heavily glossed over. And these books take kind of a similar approach to like showing the complexity of the different factions to that revolutionary documentary, the Ken Burns thing. At every turn in the last book when they were working in The Pretender, I think it was The Pretender, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that these books do that I was really impressed by in that book in particular was like how every faction had its own motivation. Like the bad, whatever the guy's name who had captured the Toby, or not Toby, Hess, or what, I forget the name of the
little
Beck.
lost Hork-Bajir. Beck. That's it.
Yeah, Beck.
The Bectionary.
The Bectionary, the rhyming Bectionary. But so like that guy was motivated by money. He was like purely about like, can I make more money off this thing? Visser 3 was working the Yerk angle. The Hork-Bajirs didn't want to wait for the humans to have a reason to help them. They wanted to be doing their own actions because they realized there wasn't. And like that kind of like complexity is absolutely accurate, and also the first thing to go from collective memory. Yeah. When like narrativations, new narratives of historical events become the thing.
It's like homogenizing.
Yeah, everything becomes much clearer. Everything becomes much more solidified.
More binary,
Yeah,
right.
There used to be times when there was overlap and there was wiggle room and the edges weren't fuzzy.
And also at the same time that overlap wiggle room is also really ugly and there's parts of this American Revolutionary War documentary where they're like talking about like everybody is playing the natives. Like everybody is like trying to like create, and the natives are trying to figure it out. And the various factions have they have their own alliances among themselves, but then they're also very regionally interdependent. And it's just such a complicated like fabric of treaties and non-treaties and propaganda. And like, I don't know, these books, you know, they're not like as complicated as that, but like these people are also synthesizing these events. And I think they do a good job of like, and so all of that is to say, and I will have to edit that down, my bad, to say that like Tobias's ability to be out in the conflict and really have his skin in the game, for lack of a better term, like he's like kind of beyond the human interest by being foisted out over the edge. Wow, I took a really long time to get there.
There's like a hybridization happening with...
Yes.
Yeah,
like
Tobias doesn't just represent the human fight, and I think that is beautifully illustrated by the Hork-Bajir's special relationship with him.
Yes.
That I don't know that they would have if he wasn't a hawk.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even though they know he's part of the Animorphs, they understand intrinsically that he is othered from them. And so he exists on a boundary between them. Even though they're allies, he exists sort of even in between that alliance.
It kind of seems that way. Yeah.
Well, and
then also, and take it back, Ed. Yeah.
Chris, you made it. I think it was you who said this. I think it was a really good point, and I'm sure it's one we've made before. But like, there's a question that arises for Tobias, which is like, he has no buy-in to human society. Even if he's were a human again, what would he do? Where did he go? Like, what role is he going to be welcomed into society as like a 12-year-old who's being passed around between these people?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a path for himself there in the way that the other kids do. And it leaves him, there's like a space there that then he can fill by investing in these other groups.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Because it's something the other Animorphs don't see. We talked about that sort of hidden, when Rachel was like, why can't you just want this? Sort of, you know what I mean? Why can't you just want to be human? Why can't we just want this to happen? Why does it have to be complicated? And it's that they don't see that he is losing something by not being a hawk, but also that the space they're assuming he'll walk back into may not be as easy. It may not be being held for him. They're holding space for him. They are.
Yeah.
But the world's not. Where does he, like you said, where does he go? Does he just go back to his uncle's house? Does he just, they can't make him do that. That's awful. Like,
Right.
what would he do? Like, would Rachel's lawyer mom get him emancipated? What would, like, that take months? That take money? That take things we don't have, especially during a war.
Right. Also, probably would be visible to the Yeerk invaders.
The Yeerks would notice. Especially, because now they know who he is.
Yeah. I just saw But I'm a Cheerleader for the first time. And now instead of etiquette school, I'm thinking of Hawk conversion camp. But with RuPaul there and like, you know, like it'll be great. It'll
be fun. We'll fix it.
We'll fix it.
I also wonder if, I don't really feel like we've lost the theory and thread here maybe at this point.
Yeah,
but,
we've gone a little off script. But
what new possibilities will pop up for Tobias and Axe in terms of being able to connect, as if Axe starts to lose hope or that the Andalites really will return? Because I think the reason Axe can't fully commit to exploring that with Tobias is that Axe is kind of still waiting. He feels like his space, his path forward is arriving on a ship that will take him back to this other world.
His space does exist.
That's not going to happen, is my suspicion, because then what would happen to Axe in the series? So,
you know what I somehow didn't think about through all of book 24? Tobias still hasn't fucking told them. We have seen zero reactions from other people to Tobias's parentage. We don't even know if they know.
Yeah.
He didn't tell them, did he?
No. And I feel like it's going to happen off
That
screen.
thread was just dropped. Like
I can't wait to get to the last book, and it's like over 1,000 pages long. Like it's like the ghostwriters have just been kicking the can down the road. Like we're flying through an episode a book, and then we get to the end, and it's like Lord of the Rings level.
Yeah.
Sorry, you'll have to read the Silmarillion to understand the last book. It's kind of It's like, okay, if you want to watch Madoka Magica, the first thing you have to do is read Faust. And then you should see the opera as well if you haven't. And then you're going to need to pick up the Bible front to back. Read the whole Bible with a highlighter.
That was a big part of it. Yeah. Highlight every word twice.
Does anyone feel like they can bring it back to the Therian thread?
I think the closest I can get, but I'll take a swing at it, is that we're talking about the ability to like relate to things that maybe we don't, like us as Anidorks or Cool Kids, sorry,
Right.
have firsthand knowledge of, but then we're also like trying to empathize and voice our understanding of otherness onto other things. And so I think like this was a conversation about otherness and about the feelings of otherness one can have with themselves and their own identity, and then also that being externalized, and also for some reason a part of the American Revolutionary War written out of history. So I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you know, that is what it is. We all take different paths to get places, which is something I think is actually really reflected in what I'm learning about the Therian experience, that it means different things to different people, just like the American Revolution. And that one's a joke.
well, it does definitely mean different things to different people.
But just in that it is that varied. It is that depending on who you talk to, you will get a very different story. And that's true of a lot of different things in life.
Yeah. I also wonder if Rachel's identification with the bear is going to have more to do with
voting.
With voting.
Like
yes.
it'll be that she's a single issue bear.
Yes. That she is it. That's more about how the war is changing her, and Tobias is more about, for lack of a better word, like a spiritual level, like another path, another experience other than. Being
I don't
human.
know. Because like think about like how much room to express herself she gets from it. Like it also feels spiritual in a way. Like
The world
That's
is a
fair.
rage room when you're a bear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, it's convenient for her that she's in a war because that's the emotion that maybe best expresses her frustration with the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good point. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. Cool. So what else do you want to tell us about the war, Chris, the Revolutionary War?
Well, we can fade out.
Well,
over,
okay, so if we're fading out, I do just have one thing I need to say. And this isn't like important, and it's really not. I just want to say that I was reading some fan fiction recently from a completely different series, and I read a work that I liked, and I was like, I'm going to go to this author, and I'm going to see, I was on AO3 Archive of Our Own, and I was like, I'm going to see what else they've written. And I went in, and they had some Animorphs works, and I went in, and it was immediately explicit works of Joe Bob Fenestra and Esplin 9466 the Lesser. And I didn't touch it. I don't want any spoilers.
This is real?
I saw this. Yeah.
Yo, dude, we gotta read those at some point.
I just wanted to share that information.
That's effing incredible.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, I was like, I don't know if they come back. So I don't know. If they don't, then there's probably no spoilers in this. But if they do, then there's definitely spoilers. So I clicked back as soon as I saw it. I was like, no, I can't even read the tags. Like,
Yeah.
One point of business that I'll hop into here. We're going to take a break for the month of August. We're going to release the rest of our Book 24 episodes. I probably will have said something about it at the beginning of this episode, but this is my editor's note to remind myself to put something at the beginning of the episode. So we're going to release all of Book 24. We'll release this one.
You've heard by this point.
which will have happened by this point, probably.
Yes. Yeah. That's a fair point. And then we'll be back. We'll start secretly recording books again. We'll start making appearances again on the Discord with Nom de Plumes, and we'll be back probably in at least probably September. We have a maybe it'll be second week of September or something.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. We're doing fun things. I'm going to go see Death of a Salesman. Eddie, are you doing anything interesting?
I am getting married.
Oh my God!
I haven't told the other
gross.
Anna cool kids yet, but
Oh no!
You don't have to share if you don't want to. I was just inviting you to share.
Eddie, we can't get married. We're podcast hosts together. We're co-hosts.
it's a lot like
All right, we
Joe
can-
Bob, Finestra, and Esplin.
Yeah, hey, you're the one who took it that far. All right,
I wrote
let's
the
fade
fan
out.
fiction, okay?
All right, I think that's a good.
I think that's
a
good.
good ending.
Because I was going to
That was
ask you to update your power ranking of the founding fathers. That's what I was going to try to plug.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!